to another rumor has it favorite 5. This week's is sort of unusual. There's a bunch of variants coming out, and there's some great ones to check out. But a lot of them are these 1 from 100 sketch variants. It seems like Alex Ross's timeless variants are going to have a sketch one, a 1 from 100 that follows it up. So there's some good ones to check out there. We got a new Iron Man series starting over again, and there's lots and lots of variants to go along with that. The big book dropping is Detective Comics 1027 or 1027. And it's just a cool book to have, but like all these little milestone things that DC's done, there's hundreds of variants. It seems like every store has their own copy out there that you can buy. It's a $10 price tag. You might be able to get it a little cheaper, but I usually sort of wait, and unless there's just a diehard, you got to have the cover. I usually wait a little bit and see when stores might mark them down. But if you're basically buying a trade. It's a big, long, thick book, and it's probably worth reading some of it, as lots of different characters and creators go in and write about it. But those aren't the books I'm really talking about today. I'm not talking on Iron Man. I'm not talking about these 1 for 100 variants. This week's a little bit different. I'm looking at some books that interest me that are just for cover price. So, first one we'll look at is Amazing Spider-Man, The Sins of Norman Osborn 1. Green Goblin's coming back. You've seen some beautiful variants are about to come out and drop with those. But this is just the B cover. But in here you have the Web of Spiders creation, or team creation. It's sort of a cool create. But I like this cover. I love just the way it looks. Last time the Sin Eater variant for Boss Logic, it went from $5 to $7, $8, $9, $10. So this might be one to grab. I just like it. I'm a Spider-Man guy, so anytime. But you get Silk and Spider-Gwen on the cover and Miles there, so it's just sort of a good cover to have. Next one we'll look at is this X-Men number 12. Guys, I haven't been following X-Men. It's hard to keep up with all the different books and all the different things. But this is sort of the prelude to the X of Swords. I did pick up the free comic book day book, and you had all the characters sort of premiere in that sort of book, but the X of Swords looks like it might be an interesting story. This cover is just bad. It's so good. It's badass. It's just a great cover. It's the first appearance of the character on the cover. And she just looks awesome. So I'm interested in him. I want to see it out. I probably will check out this book. But once again, it's a cover price book, so you probably should be able to find it in your stores. But you never know. I mean, maybe X-Men's are going to be low printed for a little bit here. Next one I'll sort of look at is a 4th print, Deceased Dead Planet. This is one that Momoko did the cover for. She's a hit or miss for me, but man, this is a hit for me. I love this cover. Since FOC, before FOC, when they released this cover, it's one I've been sort of anxious to get. It's just a great cover. And then Deceased Dead Planet is sort of a fun read. So does sort of double whammo. It's a great cover, and then you get, I don't know, Momoko's always hit or miss for me. I sort of write about a little bit. Sometimes her stuff's great, and you're like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And then other times you go, did she just rip out her sketchbook and say, here, use this? Like she didn't put any real effort into it. Which, I mean, hey, she's talented enough to, her lack of effort is 10 times better than me doing 20 hours worth of work on a piece. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things. But I do like this cover. Hopefully you can find it for cover price. I wouldn't be surprised if this 4th print has more copies than the 3rd print did. Maybe even more than the 2nd print, just because it's Momoko. But yeah, so check that one out. I also want to look at these Star Wars number 6. Supposedly this is the first appearance of Luke's yellow lightsaber, but the main reason I sort of do it, the action figure variant here has the yellow lightsaber. Those of you that did Star Wars figures and collected all those different things, how there are variants in these toys, and how I think Luke Skywalker, there's a yellow hair variant versus an orange hair variant or something like that. So the fact they have a yellow lightsaber variant is sort of a fun little thing. And I do wonder, stores don't buy as many of these action figure variants, so this might be something worth checking out. And finally, the winner this week, in my opinion, is going to be this Ice Cream Man Quarantine Comics Special number 1 foil variant. Very few, if any, listed on eBay. I saw one listed trying to sell for $200, so one per store. But just sort of like the some of these image foil variants have just sort of shot up, especially if there's one per store. Now they could drop, but this book was a $15 book last week, so the foil variant, if your store gets it, might be worth something grabbing. I think Firepower did the same thing. They came out with a foil variant afterwards instead of the same week. So check those out. Once again, guys, this is comicbookinvest.com. This is my rumor has it, and this is the favorite 5. So hopefully you'll check these out.